My name is AJ Pelletier, and I'm here to talk to you about my podcast, The Roads We've Traveled. It's a bi-weekly podcast where every episode I interview guests about their lives, their upbringings.
My father was, your stereotypical Irish drunk.
Their mental health.
Like serious depression, very bad anxiety. I can look, as a kid, I can see where it showed up.
And whatever else they have going on in their lives. It's a heartfelt show where we share intimate details about our lives, our joys, our struggles, and our passions. And we like to have some laughs along the way, too.
Are you wearing a scarf?
Oh my God!
I love it. I love it. You have no idea how funny that is, AJ.
We all have our own struggles and battles we deal with. My show is to help you out and show you that you are never alone. So why don't you take this journey with us? Subscribe to us and tell a friend. We are available on all major podcast networks, and we're also available on YouTube. So what are you waiting for? Let's hit the road together.
Real quick, guys, before we get the episode started, Zzeu wanted to show us a new track he's debuting off the EP Swevin, which drops tomorrow, October 23rd, and this song's called Apocalypse.
It's Axel, baby.
All I know, all I know, I've been stuck in my way. Feels like I'm stuck in this maze with these people around me. They just want me to break, and this apocalypse is killing me with sorrow. Do I have the chance to overcome it by tomorrow? These people are my back and they enslaved. Do I follow? Memories are haunting me, feels like my soul is hollow. So hollow. Memories I had take me to my past, fighting for my future, but it's dragging my life back. Thinking you ahead, but I would never come in last. Had to take a step back, look at life in a different picture. All my rainy days just overcome my eyes to beat the blizzard. All these niggas call me out so I can oversee with wisdom. All these niggas change so I can bring the pain. Always contemplating my life, never complain. Surrounded by my memories and hiding from this pain. All I know, I've been stuck in my way. Feels like I'm stuck in this maze with these people around me. They just want me to break, and this apocalypse is killing me with sorrow. Do I have the chance to overcome it by tomorrow? People on my back and they enslaved. Do I follow? Memories are haunting me. Feels like my soul is hollow. But it's dragging my life back. Thinking you ahead, but I will never come in last. All all I know. All I know. All I know. All I know. I've been stuck in my way. Feels like I'm stuck in this lane. With these people around me, they just want me to break. This apocalypse is killing me with sorrow. Do I have the chance to overcome it by tomorrow? These people on my back and they enslaved. Do I follow? Memories are haunting me. Feels like my soul is hollow.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Blue Presents a podcast where I discuss all things music and how it affects my life. And today I am joined by Zzeu and O.D.R. Shotta from the group 5G. How are you gentlemen doing today?
Good.
That's what's up. So real quick before I get started, I usually start with my first question. What are your top 5 artists? Which, you know, like we were talking before, sometimes can be a hard question because it's always a changing thing. So we'll start with you, Zzeu. What's your top 5?
My top 5, I'm gonna go from 5 to 1.
Yep.
So as I was talking to you about earlier,
Mhm.
I'm a more of a new generation type guy. So I gotta put at number 5 my dude Corey. He's a lyricist, teller, and you know, he's all around rapper.
Mhm.
And then I go with number 4, I gotta put Joyner Lucas. It was a throw up between Dick and Joyner Lucas, but I gotta give the S to Joyner Lucas.
Mhm.
And then I gotta go way back for number 3. I gotta put my boy Slick Rick on there
Okay.
for number 3. Yeah, you feel me? And then for number 2,
Mhm.
you gotta put Tupac and number 2. But for me, it's number 2. Like I said, I'm more of the younger generation.
Mhm.
Number 1 is Eminem. It gotta be Eminem.
Okay.
So that's my top 5.
That's what's up. O.D.R., what's your top 5, boss?
I say Tupac,
Mm-hmm.
boy, Lil Durk. How much that is? That's 4.
Yeah.
Lil Durk and Biggie.
Oh yeah. That's a big one for me. Even when I was growing up, my uncle, growing up in the 90s, my uncle was always like, there's only one best rapper of all time, and he said Biggie Smalls. That was his favorite rapper since forever, man. It's just one of those guys that, you know, you can put on, and he just, you know, granted he was like a street dude, but he also had that, like, you know, like radio play bangers that even though he was, you know, it was like super radio play, it was real street about everything he did. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today, man. Sometimes it's really hard for me to nail down some hip hop artists, so I'm super excited that you guys are on the show, man. I know we're really here to talk a lot about Zzeu and something Zzeu has got coming up, man, but I want to hear from both of you guys. What is it about the hip hop music that speaks to you guys? What is it that it says to you that this is what you guys decided that, you know, getting on the mic and spitting was something you guys wanted to do?
Well, for me, I love storytelling. I like people that could captivate the audience in a story-based like type thing. I came from a poetry background. That's where I first started. But I just like the art of storytelling. If you could storytell and hook the audience in, it just shows a lot of the type of artist you are. You know what I mean? So that's what kind of like hooked me into just music in general, is just the art of storytelling.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
For me, it's just like a way out. Like, it's just like I just put what I go through in my music, so it's just like a way to express myself.
Yeah, man, and that's a beautiful thing, man. We all need that outlet. You know, some people can't find the joy that we find in creating music and writing lyrics and telling us, like you said, Zzeu, telling a story that captivates us from beginning to end. It's kind of why I've always liked guys like Immortal Technique, who tells like a really deep conceptual story that by the end of it, you're just like, wow, I was not expecting that, you know, and for it to fit so perfectly within whatever beat he's using or whatever the case is. So So quick question for both of you. Are you guys originally from Springfield? Are you guys around the Springfield area?
No, we from Springfield.
Yeah, so for me, I'm from Springfield, but I was kind of raised in New York.
Okay.
But like I kind of like came back. I came back over here, so I was like back and forth as a young kid, just back and forth, back and forth. But I grew up in both New York and Springfield, but mainly Springfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, man, because I see a lot of artists from this area, and it's like I said, it's sometimes kind of hard to connect with certain people because certain people want to be able to, project what they want to be able to project sometimes. And like I said, here it's no nonsense, no drama. We're just talking about the journey into music. So starting with you, Zzeu, man, how did getting into music, how did this start for you? Like you said, you had a poetry background. Was that a natural fit for you to go from poetry to actually rapping on beats? Or was that something you had to build yourself up to?
Yeah, so I started a program within my school called Upward Bound. I don't know if you know what that is, but
no, man.
They would always it's a program within UMass. They would always have we would go there for the whole summer, do just college stuff, and then we would have a big talent show at the end in front of a lot of college students. And I've always chose to either I remember one year I did a documentary, but it was a poem documentary. And then I took it the next year, I took it to a next step and really like try to test my limits and perform poetry in front of everybody. I did this for three straight years after the documentary. And I don't know, it's just my and like I have a whole background story that's just it's messed up. And I try to throw hints out. I don't make myself feel vulnerable, but poetry lets me express myself in ways that like people don't really understand what I'm saying, but I understand it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
go ahead.
I was gonna say so after poetry, it was an easy transition because when I was doing poetry, I was doing more like a spoken word poetry, which is more like a rapping type thing, but it was more on the poetry end. So the transition was easy. Yeah, that answers that. The transition was pretty easy for me.
No worries on that. And O.D.R. Shotta, how did you get into rapping? Was this something you were always around, something in the family, or just something you picked up on your own?
I kind of picked it up on my own as a kid. I used to always listen to rap music and stuff like that. And I used to rap but I used to rap and play ball, but the ball didn't work out. So one day I just see my boy Zzeu posting music and stuff, and I'm like, yo, he's nice, like, feel me, like. So then I end up going to the stool with him, and I'm like, yo, I need to like, basically, like, I learned off my own niggas, like saying like, I seen them doing it, and I was like, yo, I used to rap all the time. I should try this shit, like saying, and I just ended up doing it, and it's saying like, now we here.
No, nothing wrong with that, man. And like I said, man, it's good that you were able to find a creative outlet to, do music and stuff like that. What happened with the ball stuff, man? Injuries or just not getting enough opportunities?
Nah, I just stopped. It's just I just stopped out of nowhere and then I just got into music. I'm like, yeah, you feel me?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. No, I completely understand, man. So you guys are a part of the group 5G. How did that all kind of, can you hear me? Hello?
Oh, he lagged. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? I think we're having a couple connection issues, guys.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened there.
No, it's fine, man.
But
you've lagged a little bit, but it's not too much, man. We're just having a couple of technical difficulties. It's all right, man. I've had way worse than this.
Okay.
Just to kind of talk back, you guys are a part of the group 5G. I kind of wanted to know how that got started, how you guys started connecting to kind of make a group and stuff like that. And what is the goal of your group as a conglomerate together? Is it like a Wu-Tang mindset where you're like all for one and one for all kind of deal, or?
All right, so I'm gonna explain like how it happened, and then I'll let my boy explain like the like that the whole one for all one. You know what I mean? The whole Wu-Tang thing. But for me, it was just so we were all in a party one time, and
Mhm.
we was just talking to each other like, yo, what steps are we gonna take? Like, we need to find like an outlet. Like we need to come together because we all had like our goals and what we want to do and what we wanted to achieve. We had and 5G is not just a rap thing. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not just a rap thing. It's on Twitch. It's on YouTube. It's on everything. We have different people everywhere. That's repping us our thing. But me and my boy are really the me and my boy and like two other people are mainly the ones that like came up with this whole 5G thing. We already had the group. We just needed the name. And 5G, the 5G like name doesn't really have like the meaning like O.D.R has, but like 5G just means like a selected family. Like we're just a family, you know what I mean? Like we're just trying to strive together. We're not separate. We're not like, we don't cause drama. We're not drama. We're positive energy, you know what I mean? So like yeah, that's where that whole branched off. That's where all that branched off at. Just do like a party, a group party on the PS4.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah.
And we like a family, so it's like we all doing some shit, you feel me? So if it's not rapping, it's a YouTube or streamer, or you feel me? It's not just one thing. That's what he's saying. So it's like we're all doing something, but we 5G though. Like, so basically, like, until one of us makes it, feel me, we all take each other to the top type shit.
Yeah. No,
so
that's
like, so yeah, like,
yeah, no, that kind of reminds me of like the story of Eminem and like D12, where like Eminem made it and then he kind of went back and pulled all those guys up at the same time too. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good mindset to have, man, because sometimes it's kind of hard when you form a group. You know, like sometimes together it's difficult to make it, but then there's that one chance somebody makes it and then can kind of go back and, okay, so you think I'm nice, check out the rest of my crew. You know what I'm saying? And kind of brings everybody up.
Yeah.
Kind of brings everybody up to the same level, and that way everybody can be on the same playing field, and kind of understand that this together is just more than just myself. It's everyone who's around me is feeding into this. And I like that. Yeah, go ahead.
And that's exactly why I brought my boy on here with me, like brought him on this journey with me, because it's not just about me or what I got going on or my project. It's about everybody. I put everybody first before I put myself. And even though that might be a bad thing, I find it as a good thing because I want to put everybody else on before I get put on. You know what I mean? So like, that's just the type of person I am. But yeah.
I mean, it's a good mindset to have, man. It's kind of that same whole thing, you know, what would you do if you won the lottery and you had all this money, man? Obviously, you know, like we just had that person that won like $450 million. Like, you can't spend that in a lifetime, man. If anything, you know, you spread the love around a little bit. You help out other people who've been there for you. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you're not just handing it to anybody. You're handing it out to people who've been there from day one, who have been in support. You get what I'm saying? So I like the idea. And then I also like the fact that you guys are talking on a positive tip, because, you know, we've got so many groups that are just, you know, I'm from this, I'm from that. That's all I can really talk about. And instead of trying to actually have like a positive mindset. Now, granted, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure the music is a result of what you guys are surrounded by. You know what I'm saying? So I completely understand that.
Right.
But also at the same time too, you know, you guys have to have that positive mindset to help people out too. You know what I'm saying? And it sounds like you guys have that mentality. So Zeus, you know, this is gonna kind of start directing a little bit more towards you, because as it is, you have an EP coming out the 23rd, man.
Right.
How excited are you about this EP, and what can people expect on this EP?
I'm very excited on this EP. It came a long way from my old music. My old music was it wasn't on the same quality. It didn't hold a lot of weight compared to what I have now. I put a lot of money and a lot of effort into this EP. And things that y'all can expect. Y'all can expect pop. You guys can expect rock. You guys can expect rap. You guys can expect R&B. You guys can expect everything, because I'm not just a one multi-talented type person. I like doing it all, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just stuck on that one thing. And that's why I try to express to a lot of people, even my boy, like I had him in the studio one time because he loves rapping. He's a rapper. But I told him, try something new. Try some singing or something. And his voice is very good. When it came to it, his voice turned out very good with singing. But yeah, you guys can expect a lot out of this EP. It's gonna come out on October 23rd. It's called Swevin.
And you were talking about that before we got on. What's the significance of Swevin?
All right, so you look Swevin up. Swevin is basically like it's a dream or a vision that you had, that you basically made it to your like a reality, like, and that's basically what I had. Like, if my first ever song, after my break, I made it's a song on my EP called Kennedy Story. You know, this is real life, but I turned it to like my story into a universal story. And that's what I like doing, you know what I mean? So like, that's what this project's all about. Turning, even I made a song for my boy and I turned it to a real life scenario where it's affecting other people, and other people are like, damn, like, you know, I experienced that too. It's just Swevin is basically like, it's just a universal experience that people had, and it just became like reality, you know what I mean?
No, and that's I also love your answer about, you know, what people can expect and stuff like that. Because you know, that definitely is a new wave mindset, man. It's to dip your toes in a little bit of everybody. You know, if you really think about it, you know, not, you know, I'm not trying to bring him up to be weird or nothing, but I mean, if you really think about how Lil Nas X kind of started, and then, you know, what he's doing now, you know, it's like, it's a different vibe. It's completely different, you know, and he's bringing something completely different to the table that sometimes is making people uncomfortable. But also at the same time, if you're not testing those limits, somebody may not notice you, man, because you're out here just doing what everybody else is doing. And like T-Pain said, there's already Da Baby, Little Baby. We don't need no, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's a cool mindset.
Another baby.
Exactly. But I think that's cool. So, you know, we're talking about your EP, and it sounds like you've put a lot of hard work and effort into this. You know, can you talk about the recording process? Was it super long? Were you feeling like, man, this is tough? Or was this something that you're like, yo, I'm all in, I got the beats, let's go?
All right. So when I go to the studio, I try to have a creative mindset. I want to shout out my boy Axel. He's the person that engineered most of my songs. And my boy Tyler Gifted. He engineered 2 songs within this EP, but still I try to come in with a creative mindset. So the first thing I walk in all the time, I always got to make sure the people around me, they have positive energy. I cannot go into a studio where somebody has a negative energy, negative vibe. I can't be around that type of stuff. But I like having like fun, just playing the beat and just humming. We start humming, we start just doing weird stuff, and it all comes together, you know what I mean? But the thing that kind of gets to me a lot is I have to have a good hook. That's the main thing. So like when I go in the studio, I try to have my hook already set for any song I'm going to do, because the hook is the most important part. If you're not hooking the audience in, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Exactly. So yeah, when I recorded my pop song, it's called Apocalypse. That was the most fun I've ever had in recording anything. Just because I went in the studio, I put the beat on, and I was just going out there just doing my thing. Like, I don't know, I felt alive. Like pop music, rock music, any type of like you're like putting it all in. It makes you feel alive. So like I love making rock, pop music. But yeah. No, I feel like I'm not making sense right now. It just, you know, I'm kind of nervous a little bit, but
No, you're fine, man. No, it's perfectly fine, man. And you sounds like you got something you're really passionate behind, man. And sometimes it's kind of hard to express that because you want people to experience what you were feeling with, and like you said, bringing that positive mindset, man. It should really show through your music, man, because us as artists, when we're creating something, man, we're not only just looking at, okay, I just made this song, I like this, I like that about it. You're just like, I created this song, I created this world, you know what I'm saying? I created this vibe, everything that needed to come together for this. Right. And I want to be able to convey that through the music, man. And that's something a lot of artists sometimes get confused with, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm making a song that, producer X brought to me and whatever the case is. Instead of thinking, what is it that I can do to press myself or challenge myself as an artist to keep pressing forward through this, man. And I think you sound passionate, man. So that's the one thing I'm gonna give you props on, man. You sound real passionate about what you're doing. Now I'm gonna throw it to the man O.D.R, man. Do you have anything in the works, man? Are you working on something coming up soon?
Yeah, I actually got a couple songs. I got a lot of music, but I just haven't released yet. But I'll be releasing soon for sure.
And like, are you on that same vibe as Zzeu, trying a little bit of everything, a little different styles of everything?
Yeah, I'm actually on one of the songs with him.
Okay.
On one of the tracks. I'm one of the tracks in the So I'm on that type of vibe too, like trying everything like all around, because you never know, you could come up with a hit. You feel me?
Yeah, so you never know.
But yeah, I love everything. Like, I just love all around type shit. Like, I like trying new shit all the time too. All that, like, for sure.
No, it's the same. I like I told you guys before, I have a metal background. I've been in metal bands for many, many years. But I grew up and was raised on hip hop, R&B, and gospel. You know what I'm saying? That's where I came from. I grew up in Springfield myself. I was raised on Hancock and Queen over in State Street and stuff like that. I grew up in that area. And then I moved to Florida for about 12 years. And that's kind of, I got even deeper into like rock and metal and stuff like that. But I still vibe with everything that comes from that sound. And just, I've been trying to latch on to the music scene here in Springfield, but it doesn't really seem like there's a lot of rock music, but it seems like there's an abundance of hip hop artists. Are there any artists that you guys want to talk about that kind of like in this area you think are not being looked at enough?
I think for me is I actually did a song with the people that I feel like they're not getting looked at. I did a song with. So I did a song with Lady J. I did a song with Tyler Gifted. Right. Yeah, Lady J. She's actually in this song. I think this might be her best. Like she put a lot of effort into this song. So, but yeah, those are the two main people that I think that they don't really get a lot of credit. Like right now, Lady J is getting her credit, but Tyler Gifted, he's on his way to get his credit right now, because he kind of dropped engineering for a little bit and took another path, and he just wants to just focus on his music. So I think those two people, they don't really get enough credit because their music doesn't really sound like every other music that comes out of here. You know what I mean? Their music is different.
Yeah. I heard, so I've followed Tyler the Gifted for a minute. And then I heard him drop this freestyle not too long ago that I was like pretty impressed and blown away by. So definitely big shout out to him, man. He's definitely riding a vibe that's like very, very crucial right now. And it definitely, I think with kind of like the sound of particular artists and stuff like that, I think he has a sound that could definitely put this area, Western Mass, on the map if he breaks loose. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No. So, just to kind of, we're getting kind of closer to the end, man. Zzeu, what do you want people to know about you before, like, because sometimes when you hear somebody's music, man, maybe you may not get that person's perspective. Besides the positivity stuff, what do you want people to know about you in particular, as an artist, or just even as a human being, man? Oh, I think I lost you guys. I think we got the mute button on, guys.
I'm so sorry. All right.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Good. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
it happens, man.
So I just want people to know that I'm a down to earth person. I'm a humble person. I don't take none for granted, and I stay true to myself. I know what type of person I am and what type of person I can be, and that's why I only keep certain people around me. I don't really I don't do hop into one group to another group. I'm not really like that. I try to keep real people next to me, and that's why my boy, he's always next to me. He's like one of the only people that's really like ride or die. Like I hit him up, I'm like, yo, I got something for us. It's never like, oh, I got something for me. I always make sure like with my people, yo, you guys think this is a good decision? Some people might say that I rely on other people's opinions, but nah, I like hearing what the people around me got to say too, because they have a voice too and what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like it's not just about me. So yeah.
No, I respect that approach, because sometimes as artists, man, we may like something, but then somebody could hear something else that could kind of make the song better or add something to it that we're not looking at. So it's good to have an outside opinion sometimes for somebody to kind of let you know, yo, this is good, but this could be better. You get what I'm saying? So I definitely feel that approach on that.
Yeah, talking about that. My aunt was my biggest critic. She would tell me, "Oh, your song is trash," but I would never listen. This is before I put anything out. I would never understand why she would give me so much negative energy. But I realized why she was doing that, to make me better as an artist and as a person. She was like the only person that would keep it real with me. Like I would send her all my songs and I would be like, yo, you like this EP? You like this EP? She would be like, she'll say yes to some, but then she'll be like, nah, I don't even think you should put this out to the universe type stuff. So I'm like, damn. So I'm like, damn, Titi, are you serious? But like, I understand her approach. She's more an aggressive approach. Like she takes that aggressive approach, but I thank her for that though. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I might not like what she says sometimes, but that's the steps you got to take to become great. You got to hear criticism like that, and that's gonna build you up as a person and as an artist. You know what I mean? So you gotta learn to take that criticism.
No, for sure, because sometimes what your aunt could say isn't as worse as some people could say online behind screens. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this day and age,
right?
You got a lot of hate that comes from people because either they're upset that you're not doing it in the way they think it should be done, or you're saying something they wish they could say, which is a big thing I noticed.
And I want to say another thing. I want to say another thing about hate. I love when people show me that they care so much about me. That's what I think hate is. When somebody's throwing negative energy on me, I always say, thanks for supporting me. Thanks for supporting me. Because if it's not for you guys, I'm not going to get the views that I'm receiving right now, because they're showing me that attention. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
That's when you know you're doing something, when you got people hating on you. So I just want to say thanks to the people that supported me, and thanks to the people that show hate, because either way you're supporting. And I just want to thank y'all.
Yeah, and it's the people who hate the most that want to see what you're doing either way. And I learned that from the get-go. Right. The people that watch you the closest are the ones that hate you the most, because it's one of those things that like they'll hate watch you just because they're just like, oh, I can't stand this guy. He's trash. He's just this, he's that, he's whatever the case is. But guess what? They just spent 4.5 minutes watching your music video, talking all the shit they wanted to talk. You still got them views. You know what I'm saying? Right. So nothing wrong with that. Now, O.D.R, man, I got a question for you, man. How do you think people are going to feel after listening? How do you think people are going to feel after listening to Zeus's EP, man? And what do you think people should know about Zeus from a friend perspective?
That he's real. He's not faking none of this shit he's saying. You feel me? Like everything's real in there. Like, and when that comes out, people are gonna feel it. No bullshit. Cause like I feel like people are gonna like feel like they went through similar shit, so they're gonna fuck with it. You feel me? So it's like, yeah. And I know I'm gonna rock with it for sure. Like I know all the songs about heart. Like, and he's basically like, to me he's like one of my favorite artists too. Like, because like I could relate to everything, like, feel me, like that he puts in his music.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I can say for sure, that everything he put in his music is real. So he's not just faking none of that. So
no, and that's a good love, and that's good energy to have, man. You know, for friends. You know, I have a friend of mine right now. His band has just got off their first national tour, man, and I supported everywhere I possibly could, man. Even drove all the way to New York to see them play at a club in New York, man. So, you know, we gotta have those friends as well too, man. You know, some about support and just watching somebody else come up and realizing, you know, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I was right there every step of the way, and I knew that this person was going to matter, you know, and, you know, like I tell my friends who I think are extremely talented, man, you're going to get there, man, because there's just something about hard work and then going from deniable to undeniable, which is a statement I think anybody who's an artist needs to carry with themselves. You need to go from them telling you no, from them telling you, oh, most certainly, you know what I'm saying? In a most positive
for
way.
sure.
No, and that's for real. So, gentlemen, you know, we're coming to the end of the show, man, and I just want to say thank you to both of you guys coming on my show. I greatly appreciate it. Like you said, October 23rd, Zzeu is dropping the EP Swevin. Sorry, I apologize. Tell them where
that's fine.
Tell them where they can find you guys at on Instagram or wherever you guys are.
I'll let my boy go first.
Y'all can find me on Instagram, O.D.R _Shotta. And you can see, like, yo, pretty soon they'll see music on there for sure. They'll see a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys can follow me at on Instagram at IM5G_. You know, I have nothing posted right now. I kind of like rebranded myself, took everything down. It's been a while for me to release anything, because I'm a hard critic on myself, so I try to make sure everything is nice and tight and fitted. So yeah, you guys can follow me on there, and you guys can also follow me at on YouTube at Zzeu. I said again, Zzeu. That's where my music will be posted, and my music will be posted on all platforms, not just YouTube, all platforms. So if y'all want to check me out on Spotify on October 23rd, y'all can, or Apple Music or Amazon or anything. All my music is paid for. Everything is legit. So yeah, y'all can check me out on all platforms at Zzeu.
Yep.
Zzeu.
Well, thank you, Zzeu, and thank you, O.D.R, man. I appreciate you guys' time. I appreciate you guys coming on, man. And check out Zzeu's EP, Swevin, October 23rd. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No worries.